two different needed positions at once, and there's the drop going down, and looks like Idra is not quite prepared for that drop in the back, is pulling back way too late, loses the queen, losing a substantial amount of drones. Qxc is not going to be pulling these back anytime soon, wants to pick off as many of those as he can, and here come the Mutals to clean up everything. And once Qxc sees that, he's heading to the bottom left to take out this Expo.
Yeah, that was perfect timing there by Qxc. A great display there. As the gold is just starting to get up, these blue flame Hellions are going to do a huge amount of damage. He's going to have to pull his drones off, and he does have an awful lot of Zerglings down here and Banes. They could take care of this situation pretty easily here. Let's see as they move in for the attack.
Banelings do not have speed yet, so they do manage to get some key hits down. Idra trying to magic box those Mutalisks, but there are a decent amount of those Marines still alive. Qxc just goes for the target fire to pick it off. Instead of trying to do any damage to the Mutalisks, Idra, with a great spread, cleans up everything pretty nicely. Qxc is going to need to control his forces a little bit better if he wants to be able to do damage that can do any permanency to his opponent.
Yeah, surprisingly, some really good Muta play there by Idra, and did a lot of damage with those Banes. Despite not having the speed, he did walk away from there with still several Mutas left, and of course lost all those Thors. So to replenish those Thors, which it doesn't even look like he's doing, only putting tanks back out on the field, that will definitely let these Mutas do a little bit more damage than probably Qxc wants to. Idra also putting down his third. Will he remake the gold? We'll find out here soon enough.
Looks like he's still doing a little bit of long-distance mining from it, trying to advance forward with those. Blue Flame Hellions to do some serious damage. Mutalisks get caught off guard from Idra. A lot of Zerglings getting roasted. Those Banelings are going to be very intimidating. There's no infestors whatsoever. There's the target fire on the hatch. Guaranteed kill on that one. Pulling right on back, but all those Marines are low on health. He's trying to spread them out, but that is his only form of anti-air. So that means these Mutalisks, as usual for Idra, are the final things on the battlefield to clean up. Does look like Idra's running quite low on his main. His natural's the only thing up and running. So perhaps we're going to see a war of attrition, but I do not know if Qxc can really keep up with this mass Mutalisk production.
Yeah, the Mutalisk production's getting pretty crazy. We also have some Zerglings now moving forward. If they get in here uncontested, oh my gosh, they're going to run right in. Idra might be going for a killing blow here.
Idra going to try to kill off everything in one fell swoop with no Marines anywhere. It is going to be almost impossible for Qxc to be able to defend against this. Idra, who is just being battered down again and again and again, was slowly stockpiling up bigger and bigger Mutalisk numbers. Now the Tech Lab falls. That Thor is going to be out in a very long while, and Idra may have cinched the deal with these +1 Mutas.
Yeah, I think he did. This is really nice. We're going to have a factory go down. There is nothing left except for a plethora of SCVs, and everything is going to fall here. There's only one missile, 2 missile turrets back here that might be able to do a little bit of damage, but this is going to be all she wrote as the Muta numbers continue to come in. 3 more Mutas on the way. Ling's now rushing in, finishing off the Marines and all these SCVs, and although we still see Qxc trying to expand, there's the GG.
There's a good game. So Idra will come up to an early lead, 1-0. But keep in mind that that is Zerg's favorite map, Scrap Station, and Qxc put up a very good fight.
Let's talk a little bit before we go into the second game. We'll find out what the map is going to be. But something I haven't seen out of Idra, which is the hatch at the ramp and after a block when the eBay was put down by Qxc. And it really seemed like he had a nice flow into his expansion eventually. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, definitely there was the advantage of being able to produce so many queens so quickly. And we saw multiple times in that game that there were these absurd swells of Zerglings. Ordinarily, you maybe get a sudden boost of 16 or so, but Idra was having 24 to 30 pop out in one big batch. So it made it very difficult for Qxc to maintain aggression with small numbers because Idra could get so many Zerglings back. So once Idra had around 16 Mutalisks, Qxc really needed to back off and regroup a little more.
All right, well, that was game number 1 here for the final boss battle. And what an interesting game it was on Scrap Station. Obviously, these are Idra's picks. So as Dave said, you're going to be seeing a lot of Zerg-favored maps. And how are we doing here? We're going to go to Blistering Sands. Looks like we're going to be hopping right in to Game 2. You are watching the final boss battle. Qxc won the tournament. Now he's facing EG.Idra. And what an amazing set of matches we've had all weekend long. Idra is trying to defend Qxc from winning one of these MSI GT660 notebooks. Of course, the EG Masters Cup brought to you by MSI Notebook, and here we are, Blistering Sands.
And it looks like Idra has spawned in the bottom left position as the red Zerg. Would highly doubt he's going to be doing any sort of 12 drone rush, but Qxc, on the other hand, we've seen such a wide variety of strategies out of him that have been some very kooky, some incredibly standard and stable. I'm really excited to see Qxc in some of these later maps because of the fact that Scrap Station and Blistering Sands are just so Zerg favored. It's very, very rare to see Terrans take wins on Zergs on those maps.
Yeah, David meets Goliath maybe, but I don't know who is who in this matchup. It's going to be an interesting one all the way to the end. And here we go to the full screen. Idra again. We've seen some Zergs opt to go for a pool or gas pool really quickly just to get those speedlings up and try to control what they can in the early game. But Idra has been seen to go hatch first on this one too. So we'll see how that works itself out. We're on 13 now.
Looks like Qxc will be doing the usual wall off at the front with the barracks and the supply depots, continuing to make all the usual things. Idra looks like he is preparing for some sort of silliness early on by getting his extractor up before he opts for any pool. On Scrap Station, it's quite easy to throw down a hatchery first and be safe. However, on this map, looks like Idra does not want any sort of 2-racks goofiness. Look at even the scout location. Scouting over here, where there's a lot of space to build barracks for cheeses. Look at him scouting up north to head up to this region. Again, a very popular place to spot cheeses. But it looks like Qxc is going to be hiding a second racks right on back at his own base.
Ooh, you know what? I think that Overlord is going to be able to find it on the route it is currently taking. We'll have to see what his actual flight path is, but this is going to end up being a pretty good decision here for Idra, and I think one of the reasons why Zerg go for this, of course, you get that gas up, and then you can get your speed right away with the Queen and a few Zerglings if you time it right. So let's see if he is going to scout that. He's getting awfully close to that, and he's going to probably put himself right in vision of that barracks.
So it does look like that orbital command is finishing right now. The drone tries to pop up. Oh, Idra with a little bit of a misclick, trying to poke up to the ramp. He sees... Oh, doesn't manage to quite pick it off, but this SCV can do so on the retreat path. Looks like no speed has started yet for Idra. He doesn't see the glow, but he does see that there's a hidden barracks down here. So that's going to be Qxc's signal to go, go, go very soon. He's trying to do a wall off at the front of his opponent's base. Can he actually get the SCV to swing around to the appropriate side? No, so that does mean that this bunker is going to be a little bit of a sunk waste there. But Qxc is going to be committing for an advance forward. He has 3 Marines coming. It looks like a couple more are coming. There's the 4th one. And will he be bringing any SCVs? No, he's actually going to be double gassing.
Wow, I'm a little surprised that we're not going to see any SCVs follow up with this, especially how spread out these Marines are. We don't have speed yet, but he's going to be able to take out probably 2 of these before the reinforcements even get there. And of course, on the runway, Zerglings will get those free hits. I don't think that he's lost any Zerglings quite yet. There we see the first one pop. More Marines are on the way, and he is going to be able to probably take out 1 more, a second one, and finish these guys off. So he's going to have to rethink what he's got going here. More Zerglings are going to join in, and speed is going to finish fairly soon.
I mean, Qxc darting right into a player who opted for very, very fast pool and gas, so clearly there's going to be a lot of Zerglings that he was going to be up against, so a little surprised that he still decided to move out. Idra reading his opponent very, very well. There's the surround and the pick-off, and he's going to be going down here forcing a lift. But it looks like Qxc has opted to get another command center very quickly and is getting a factory. Still a little unsure about how Qxc is going to play off the later stages.
Ooh, I like this. Ling's going to the back door, and there is no vision there for Qxc. He started to make his vision around the base, but not put one at the rocks. Finally, here comes a Marine because he's got another Zerglings didn't just poof into thin air. He's going to keep one Ling up front, and the Marine will get those Zerglings to back off. Meanwhile, we're instantly going to lair. Another gas is going to be thrown down, and that second hatchery starting some drone production. So no more Lings coming out now. Meanwhile, we got a factory going down, and I believe that we are about to finish up with that orbital. Or excuse me, that command center.
Yeah, double factory. Interesting choice. Qxc probably going for, I would say, double Blue Flame Hellion. We've seen his teammate ROOTGaming do that before, and especially a lot of Terran players are starting to really hate battling big Ling counts. Idra, though, is very rapidly en route to a Spire. He has the Spine Crawler going up. He has the 2 Queens macroing. He's joining those 2 bases together with Creep, actively picking off this gold at the backside. So Qxc will not really be able to use this orbital command for much longer.
Yeah, he's going to get out these Hellions, and I'm looking here. I'm wondering, I guess he can go through right there. So, okay, I was looking at the front of the base, wondering how the hell he's going to get out of there. We're going to have the gold rocks taken down by the Zerglings here, which means that Idra always very interested in getting those very quick bases. A great scan there, seeing the lair. Does he see anything else? He does not. I do not believe that he sees that Roach Warren that just got put down on the edge there. He does not. So we don't even have Spire at this point. Idra deciding to go with the Roach Warren.
Wow, and here we see the double barracks coming up the stem. So it does look like we're going to be seeing a good old stem mass Hellion play. I probably shouldn't say good old, considering that's one of those new school fancy techniques that not a lot of people incorporate yet. And this Roach play by Idra is going to be very tough for Qxc to be able to deal with. Mainly getting those Roaches because they are guaranteed to be able to knock down those back destructible rocks. Command Center now landing. Hellions popping out the front, but man, are they going to be surprised to see a whole bunch of Roaches.
Idra's going to try to get in here with an Overseer, but caught by a few Marines. Might be able to get a Contaminate off.
No, it splits into a million yucky pieces.
He doesn't. We got a move out here of some Blue Flame Hellions now. Nope, it's just about to finish. Now they are Blue Flame Hellions, and these Roaches are going to be right there to greet him. Going to take some pot shots there at the Creep Tumor, but Idra now showing his cards as the Roaches do pop out. Speed is almost done for those, and Burrow as well, so expect the entire gamut of Roach upgrades.
Wow, and it looks like he's darting up to the destructible rocks. Idra accidentally leaving those Zerglings there. Not even going to try to retreat him. Knows that they will be dying way too fast. Roaches from Idra now popping up to the north side. Qxc having a surprising amount of map control given this phase of the game, but those Blue Flame Hellions so effective. Really hard to micro Hellions against Roaches because it is range 5 versus range 6.
Oh, he's going to try to cut off these Hellions with the Roaches and then coming from the back. Oh my God, the Roaches just ran past and these Hellions are going to make it all the way in here. Spinecrawler is going to be there, but the Hellions are not going to stop at the natural. They're going to go into the main base with the Blue Flame. They could roast a lot of drones already. Idra spreading that line. Roaches are going to pop just in time to take care of that.
Qxc looks like he has stopped microing those because he sees that there's a huge bunch of Roaches at the backside, and his stem has only just now finished. He is trying to make enough defenses at all possible angles, but he has to keep in mind he is up against Burrow Roaches, not just ordinary Roaches. In production, we see a lot of Roaches coming out. Again, they're trying to pick off these bunkers. Unsuccessful in that attempt. He will pick off one Roach, but there are a lot more swinging in. Qxc getting completely surrounded. There's the stem, but Idra just has so many Roaches already blasting down the back.
Yeah, and look at the amount of Roaches that are incoming. 4 coming out again. We've also got tunneling claws being done, of course, the healing and the movement for the Roaches. And this is probably going to be GG. Just way too many forces.
There it goes down. Qxc suffering 2 very one